Hi, it's me, Pandyman Entertainment, and today I wanted to finish off the story time about how I sort of developed the games. So we've ended in March, it's now COVID, I bought a 3D printer. Quick recap. The game's still not offensive. So anyway, yeah, so where was I? I was talking about the game, and I bought a 3D printer, printed my first Siege. Oh my god, I loved him. So I was like, okay, this is a real possibility. I've put them online to see if people would capture the imagination of people, of potential customers. Will they notice me? Yes. It's a big yes as well. And I've been blown away by it. So I'm like, okay, I've got to move. I've got this stall in Salute, and currently it's still March. It's late March, so they've already said, yeah, no, we're not going ahead with this. The venue's being used as a Nightingale hospital for the NHS, so we can't go ahead. We're postponing it, and I remember going, oh no, this is terrible news. Mind you, I kind of knew, I probably actually had COVID in the January because it kind of went through work, because I work in quite an international setting. So the problem with that is when people are coming from Asia, that's where it really struck first, and Italy. Actually, yeah, no, we were likely to get it, and I think it swept through my workplace in sort of January. When I've spoken to people about it, they kind of agree. So I think I had it then, which sucks. But at the same time, I didn't die, so that's good. Nor did any of my family, and touch wood, that continues. But, we continue to be safe, but, So it's now April, and I'm like, okay, I've got the PDF ready to release. I've got 2-3 miniatures. Like it's nothing. And actually, I still remember our first order coming through. It was, to me, it was like I loved every minute of it. Just seeing the first order come through on our website, and it was so exciting. I had actually promised that the first person to order with us would get this like extra big model. We've never made another one other than for myself. So there is only sort of 2 in the world, and so that was going to be completely free. It was because I wanted to reward the first person with something tangible, with something as like a massive thank you, like for actually believing in my sort of dream. So I sent that off, and they really enjoyed that, which I'm really happy about. And hopefully it's it's all good. I haven't seen it since, so I only ever got mine. But yeah, no, it's really lovely that I wanted to reward, and I do like to reward my customers with a thank you, because as I see it, there's no obligation to buy what I make, and so I do appreciate it. It's it as a very small business, it's always given me a massive smile on my face, even when I'm depressed. Like if someone orders something, I'm like the whole time, and maybe that's a bit juvenile. Maybe it is, but at the same time, I just love getting those orders because it makes me happy. and I hope it makes my customers happy. So back onto the subject at hand. So now I'm selling miniatures. I'm getting more made all the time. I'm like, oh, can you make some more? Like, here's some more reference pictures just for your boots. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm paying him the whole time. I'm like, Dave, paint these. And he's like, yeah, no, of course, wonderful, thanks, Paul. And I'm like, yeah, great. And then we've got really confident, and we're like, yeah, Chilling Wargamers are going to review our game. Now, they actually did a really good review. Maybe I've always looked into it. I always said it's fair, but actually I think it's really quite good. We didn't pay for that review. We gave them the stuff. The Pickle Jar, who actually did it for Chilling Wargamers. And once again, I'd link to his channel and Chilling Wargamers. They're amazing guys. I did not pay them for that review. And I remember watching it when it first came out. Like, I had been nervous all day. And I will read into things when I shouldn't. And it was very fair, very good. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I keep mentioning people to go watch it. And it got to the point where I'm like, oh no, like, close. No, it's really good. It's a really positive review. Like, it's very fair. It's very positive, very honest. And you can't ask for better things, especially when you're not, if I had paid him and he'd said that, I'd probably been a bit more angry, but I didn't pay him. I don't believe in paying for reviews. My games should be able to stand up for themselves. I've approached other people and they're like, oh, well, we don't do paid reviews. I'm like, yeah, nor do I, buddy, but okay. We looked at, then going, okay. So we listened to their feedback. We listened to what other people wanted. They wanted paramedics. They wanted fire brigade members. I was like, okay. And I sat there and I thought, actually, at the moment, it doesn't really work for paramedics and for firefighters. It just doesn't work. We'd been playing with some ideas, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to speak to one of my old wargaming developer friends from when I worked in the company in London, and I'm going to say, look, maybe can you help me? Like, I need a bit of help. You're a much better developer than I am. And so I've written to Ethan. I've gone, dude, can you help me? And he said, yeah, for money. I was like, of course, for money. I'm not one of those people that doesn't pay people. That's one of our key sort of mission statement is pay our staff a fair wage. Even if they're freelancers, it's a fair cop. Because I'm not that guy that's like, oh, let's do the website and not pay you. That's not fair. So we've sat down. He's gone through the game with me via video chat, and he's written down his views. We've discussed them all. It's been really interesting. I loved every minute working with him. He's definitely going to be involved in other projects. I've already asked him, and he said yes. So, and yeah, no. So, we changed terrorists to antagonists. That made it more inclusive. We could have bank robbers. You can have drug dealers. You can have, you can still have the terrorist. Anyone who is a wrong'un can be included. Also, the AI can be called, instead of just artificial intelligence, it can be antagonist intelligence, which is fun. And that was his idea, once again. He is a very good wargame developer, and I can't recommend him highly enough. So if you're looking for a developer to playtest and work with you, Ethan's not a bad guy. We I then sort of paid him and started the process of playtesting and working with getting miniatures made. The problem is it's very much kind of have to do everything all at once. So they're like, oh, start one project, like fire on one end of the candle, and then there's burning candles at both ends, 2 projects, and then there's the current situation, which is just basically fire all over the place, and that is very much a case of how I operate at the moment. So we sat down and I finished it eventually, very recently, and people have been really enjoying it, which is good. Now, the idea behind threat level and emergency response, tube strike and emergency response, has always been inclusivity. It's also always been very important to me that we represent the police in a positive-ish way, and the paramedics and the fire brigade. They do a hard job, all of them. Every single one of them is a key worker, and honestly, it's not an easy job. I've not done it personally. I'm not claiming to have done it ever. I don't want to do it. They are heroes in their own right. Of course, you'll get a few wrong ends. And it's hard for them to be objective. At that point, there's lots of difficulties. And it's difficult for, there's been a few high profile cases recently of police in London and other parts that are wrong uns. And, at the same time, it'd be interesting to find out why, but that's not really it now. What I believe is that these games should be for fun. I call them battle systems, but actually we sort of, with the paramedics coming in and with the fire brigade, you're not battling another person as such. You're not battling another army. It's not like Warlord games where you're against an army. Your army is against another army. It doesn't work like that for threat level. Paramedics could be fighting against time. So the mission ticking down. Every round is another round that you need to get, this patient stabilized. Fire brigade, every time that the round changes, you've got less time to stop the fire, to stop the emergency. And so the battle system is very different. And while it is technically a war game, it's a tabletop battle system. It's also quite narrative. And I've wanted it to be quite narrative. Now, that was another thing that I do think is quite pioneered by the war games of a London-based company. They make some wonderful narrative-driven games. And actually, I do think that battle systems, especially at skirmish level, should be quite narrative. They should have a story to them. They should allow the player to maybe not always develop the characters individually, like in some systems that I play. I really enjoy, but I do think that there is a merit to battle systems that you're not necessarily battling an army. You're battling yourself. You're battling, in the NHS, they battle health. They battle our own, like I'm a fat boy, and they battle my obesity very badly because I don't go to them. But that's it. But that kind of logic is they're battling pandemics. That's what we learned about in COVID. And it's, I do apologise. Very important to me to have that realism, to have that narrative realism. And to not be offensive, and to have miniatures that show actual society, and not be limited to, well, these police officers are white and they're male, or all nurses are female. That's not true. And I don't want it to be. I would never want that to be true. And it's about having, or even, about non-binary, At the end of the day, I don't necessarily make any non-binary miniatures, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any non-binary police, paramedics. I haven't got around to making them yet, so I'm sorry about that. That is something on the wish list, to make non-binary miniatures, because it's not like it used to be 30-40 years ago, and we're all on this planet together currently, until I can leave to Mars with Elon Musk. I'm not really a big fan of his, but if it means going to Mars, happy days. So shoot me up if you want a free rider. I'm not going to bring any skills. I don't think he's going to offer me a place on Mars, unless it's of cannon fodder. Then I'm not doing it. It's just not worth it. Yeah. So we're currently all on the same planet. We're still all on this ball of dirt, and we need to look after it. I'm getting a bit off subject, but yeah, no, we need to work together, and that's really important for me to do. So miniatures, while they might look like they have gender, they don't all have gender, and that's fine. Some are non-binary, and that's okay. Especially as the time of recording, there had been a company quite recently that, we'll leave them nameless. They caused a ball of hurt in the gaming industry. So I want to be inclusive. Pandyman stands for inclusivity. At the end of the day, your enjoyment, that's our business. That's my goal, is your enjoyment. So if you're not enjoying it, then I'm doing my job badly. And so with that, remember to stay awesome. We have some amazing looking miniatures, and we'll have more soon in all kinds of colours. Admittedly, they all come in grey, so you can do what you want with them. I'm not going to judge, but I might judge positively. So until next time, remember that peace, love, and tranquility are our friends, and battle systems are, well, they're fun. They're games. Try not to look too far into them. Have fun. Bye.